Good morning. This is Michelle Smith, State Coordinator for Action for Healthy Kids. Welcome to our final webinar for this school year, Partnering for School Health, which is being brought to you by Action for Healthy Kids, the Department of State Health Services, the Department of Agriculture, and Texas Education Agency, working together to try to bring you information that can help further your efforts for school wellness. Today's session is on innovative PE and health professional development. We have some great speakers, but first I'm going to turn this over to Anita Wheeler. But before I do that, just a few logistics. You can either use your telephone or your computer speakers to listen to this webinar, but everyone will be muted. All questions need to be submitted through the question box, which is in the control panel, which you should have on the right-hand side of your screen. We are recording the webinar, and it will be posted on YouTube, and we will send a link out along with a copy of the PowerPoint sometime in the next couple of days, maybe even today. At the end of the webinar, you will see a brief survey pop up. Please take like 2 minutes just to fill that out. It will help us for future webinars and for evaluation purposes. And then as I mentioned, the slide and the link will be sent out. With no further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Anita to introduce our speakers.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending our webinar series this morning. First of all, before I introduce our presenters, I'd like to thank Michelle and Texas Action for Healthy Kids, as well as our other partners, Texas Department of Ag, TEA, and Texas Action for Healthy Kids for helping us put these together. Before I give specifics about the bios of our presenters today, I'd like to say that I've had the great fortune of working with both of our presenters for a very, very long time. Linda Seewald has also served for 10 years on the Texas School Health Advisory Council, really assisting the Department of State Health Services in improving our programming and really focusing in on helping school health advisory councils at the local level. And Mandy has just recently been appointed as a new member to the Texas School Health Advisory Council. So we're very fortunate to have very experienced presenters today. Mandy is the education specialist for the Coordinated School Health at Education Service Center Region 20. In this role, she provides training and technical assistance for districts in school health related areas and serves as a liaison between districts and community resources. Mandy also co-chairs the San Antonio Mayor's Fitness Council's Healthy Schools Committee and is a member of the TSHAC, as I said before. Prior to her work at ESC 20, Mandy was the Child Nutrition Coordinator for Comal ISD and worked as adjunct faculty in the Department of Health and Kinesiology at the University of Texas at San Antonio. Mandy is a registered and licensed dietitian and a licensed athletic trainer and enjoys working with school districts to promote all aspects of coordinated school health throughout their campuses. Linda Seewald is the Director of Health and Physical Education in the Northside ISD in San Antonio. This is her 40th year at Northside. She graduated from Southwest Texas State in 1971 with a BS in Education and from Southern Illinois University in 1971 with an MS in Education. Prior to her current position, Linda developed and implemented the adopted physical education program in Northside ISD. She also oversaw the Special Olympics program at NISD. So it's with great pleasure that I introduce both of our speakers today. They will give us a wealth of information on their innovative professional development module. Linda and Mandy, take it away.
Thank you, Anita, for that introduction. This is Mandy Tyler with Region 20, and we're happy to be presenting today on a special type of PE and health professional development that we've started in our region. I really think it's important to start with today sharing that our PE and health coordinators in the ESC 20 area are a strong group of leaders in the field. They collaborate throughout the year on many initiatives to support the wellness of students and promote best practices in physical activity and health education in our schools. Our group meets on a regular basis throughout the school year, and we rotate our meetings to area districts so that everyone has a chance to attend and share what's going on in their districts. Many of our PE and health coordinators also participate on the San Antonio's Mayor's Fitness Council's Healthy Schools Committee, and this provides an additional opportunity for us to work together on projects throughout the year. It was from these collaborations that the idea for summer PE and health professional development came about. Our coordinators really recognized that there was a need for professional development to be offered during the summer, specifically for their PE and health staff. And we also recognized that many of our PE and health teachers were already teaching innovative lessons in their classroom and really had a lot of expertise that they could share. So we made the decision that to fill this need for professional development, that we could collaborate and share professional development sessions between districts. So this is our third year going strong. We began this collaboration in the summer of 2015. We continued it last year, and we have great plans for this summer as well. It continues to grow every year. The best thing about this is it's open to all PE and health teachers in the area, and it's free of charge. Michelle, the next slide. Great. And so how we make this happen, how we've made this a reality, is that ESC 20 kind of takes on the coordinating piece of the professional development sessions, and then the districts take on the piece of bringing in speakers and determining what workshops to offer. All districts that are willing to participate in the collaboration work with me at Region 20 to develop a list of summer trainings. We collect all this information in a Google document that all the districts have access to view and to edit. Once the districts add information about the sessions they plan to offer during the summer to their Google document, we then at Region 20 create online registration for all of the sessions through Connect 20, which is our online registration system. We also have our creative communications and marketing team develop a brochure to advertise our sessions to the staff. The day prior to the session, we generate sign-in sheets to track attendance, and we send those to the districts. The districts, in turn, collect the sign-in sheets, have the participants sign in and return those to us. Through this, we're able to track attendance and then provide continuing education certificates for all those who attend the sessions through our Connect 20 online registration system. So as I mentioned, the Google document is really the key piece. It's our collective planning document that we use to get ready for the summer sessions. It's accessible to all our PE and health coordinators who really want to collaborate and participate in this for us. And really what it does is it helps us all work in real time on the same document. It helps prevent duplication of session topics and also of dates. So when a PE and health coordinator goes in and wants to enter a session, we ask that they first verify a session's not already scheduled on the date that they want to select. And then we ask them to provide us with some very specific information that helps us then with developing the registration and the marketing brochure. So we ask them to list the district that's hosting the session, obviously the date and time, a title and a description of the session, where the host site that will be actually offering the session at, including the physical address and any specific information that needs to be shared with the participants, such as if the training's at a park, where at the park they should meet. Who's going to be presenting the session, and then also the class size limit. And one of the benefits of this collaborative is that we're really encouraging districts, if you're already offering a session for your district staff members, go ahead and open it up a bit more and let outside members come in. So they can say, you know, that we're willing to offer maybe 10 slots to outside staff members. And so I can open up a limited offering just so even a few or a handful of other staff can participate in that workshop. We also recognize the need that districts would have the opportunity to share workshop ideas or topics that they feel their staff could use training in. So for example, one district really wanted some training in an elementary kids dance, kind of a Latin themed dance. And so they were able to enter that on the Google document. Another district could say, hey, I have an elementary PE teacher who really does great with this. We can lead a session. And so thus we're meeting one another's needs through the expertise of our own staff. I'm going to now hand the presentation over to Linda Seewald, and she's going to discuss the district's roles in arranging these professional development sessions.
Good morning, everybody. One of the things that I think is the most important thing to do before you look at responsibilities and all the logistics is it's important to really determine how staff development is planned and why staff development is planned. This should be done at the district level and also in a collaborative format like Mandy was talking about. Planning staff development is everyone would agree, I'm assuming, that it's much more than collecting a list of sessions that you think will draw teachers to register. One of the main concerns that staff development sessions in that area field has had is that there's drop-in sessions. So a teacher hears something for 3 hours, or you have a session on such and such for 6 hours, and then there's never any follow-up. And so that is a concern, and those are the kinds of things that really need to be looked at both at the district level and at a regions level. In Northside, we have what is required, what we call teacher's choice requirement, which means that the teachers have to have 12 hours per year taken in staff development that's off contract time. This can be motivating, I guess you would think, because basically they would lose hours, pay hours if they actually don't have it. But what we're hoping is that the teachers are motivated beyond that, meeting that requirement to try to improve their classes. So let's look at this slide. The district responsibilities, as Mandy was talking about, is basically there's going to be a recruitment based on the teachers that you have working in your school district. It's very obvious many times the expertise of different teachers. One of the things that we find is that our teachers really enjoy hearing from other teachers in the district or other teachers in the city. One session that we have is called a share session that we don't share this. We don't use this in Region 20 because it's a 6-hour session where PE teachers at both the elementary and secondary level come in and share a session or a lesson that they think would be important. We don't share that, but with the city. But one of the things is that the teachers really enjoy those sessions. All of them are usually filled up, and that's because of the idea that they really want to hear from each other. If you're going to coordinate, if there's something new that's totally out of the realm of what you may be, what you may have available with some of your staff or some of the teachers in your district, it's important to go outside to find experts. We have a new course that we're putting in. It's called Rookie Rugby, and it's a non-contact rugby lesson format. And obviously, we don't have that, or we didn't have the information. And so there's an individual in San Antonio that's doing that for us. Another example would be like eating disorder, something like that, where you may not have someone in your staff or that you need to go to the community. Like Mandy said, the school districts basically plan everything, the date, time, location. They host the session. It's important to know that it's funded by the school district too. Sometimes there are not fees. I mean, this is free to the teachers, but it may not be to the school district. So, as an example, there's a workshop that Northside's doing that we're offering in motor development, which you're going to see on the next slide, and I'm paying the presenter actually to do those workshops. Okay, so next slide, Michelle. Okay, so these are some of the workshops that we have had offered last year, I believe. The second and third bullet there, outdoor adventure and outdoor cooking, these were generated based on a need for some teachers to work in some components of outdoor ed, and Northeast had some kayaking sessions and some other outdoor ed kinds of things that the teachers enjoyed, so that met that need. Also, if you look at the others on there, radical fitness, team handball, circuit training, disc golf, flex core. Flex core is a combination between Pilates and yoga that we have in the district, and then technology and PE and health classroom. These were offered by Northside based on the fact that our teachers had indicated that they either needed to be trained the first time. These are modules that we have and with curriculum and equipment that we provide, but they either needed to be trained the first time, or they needed to have a refresher. So once again, what we're trying to make sure of is that teachers are not just selecting things to check off, selecting a workshop just to check off a box. I'm meeting this need, I'm getting my 12 hours, I'm going to get paid. The whole idea here is to give as much information and much diversity to the teachers so that they're empowered to add some other kinds of things to their school district. The other thing that I want to mention here is that it's really, really important that we have a continual focus on health education, even if some school districts no longer require it. As you know, it's not required by the state. There are many, many opportunities for health to be taught or integrated into physical education classes. And for those school districts where health education is still a requirement, we want to make sure that those health teachers have workshops that are relevant and timely. And because when you really think about health education, it's an area that's it's changing significantly, almost on a daily basis. So let's see the next slide. These are some of I've kind of mentioned some of these. This is what we're offering for some of what we're offering. I've mentioned the rookie rugby and the eating disorders. If you look on the second and the last bullets, secondary mountain biking and kayaking for Lesson in Life. This is actually a collaboration that Northside is doing with Seguin ISD. Pete Silvius has agreed to have him or some of his staff provide a kayaking lesson and provide the equipment. And Northside is bringing a trailer full of mountain bikes. And we have a presenter that's one of our elementary teachers, as a matter of fact, that's going to present that. So one half of the day will be mountain biking, the other half of the day will be kayaking. And that one's filling up pretty quickly, so we may need to look at another date. The Foundations of Motor Development, that's at the top. That workshop, I believe, is one of the most important kinds of workshops, staff development, that we can provide our teachers, especially elementary physical education teachers. It gives, even though the teachers have kinesiology degrees, they maybe have taught for a while in elementary physical education. It's really important that they know all of the theory behind what needs to be taught when, and what all the precursors are for the different components, such as balance and locomotor skills and those kinds of things. Northside has a motor development program, a motor lab program rather, at 20 of our elementary schools, and so that meets the needs of hopefully some of those teachers, but it also is for an elementary PE teacher that really needs to know what they're teaching and the theory behind it. That is just essential. The last thing that I want to point out is on this slide is that technology awareness and internet that's related to the health teacher. But last year we also did some PE technology apps, and it was just well attended, and people actually came with a lot of examples of apps and uses of technology that was able to be shared. So I'll go ahead and hand it back to Mandy.
Great, thank you, Linda. So as I mentioned earlier, our ESC 20 Creative Communications and Marketing team develops a flyer every summer for our workshops. They always do a phenomenal job. Their creativity just truly amazes me. But what this does is it just advertises what sessions are being offered, the location, all the information from the Google Doc is then collaborated into this, this professional development brochure. We distribute this to the districts via email so they can then share it with their staff. So once again, we're not printing, we're trying to minimize costs in every way. So this is all done electronically distribution-wise. Michelle, if you'll advance the slide one more. And so just we wanted kind of in conclusion to share some lessons learned. Like I said, we're going on to year 3 of this collaborative. The first thing is that everybody really plays a part. A lot goes into planning workshops and staff development down to the day of, and we really rely on everyone to get all the logistics taken care of, to coordinate, and we need everyone fully on board. So, I mean, an example is the sign-in sheet, you know, just making sure that we get that to the districts utilize that to take attendance, and then they get it back to us so the participants can get credit. Like I said, a lot of coordination between the districts and Region 20 to make sure we get this done. Also, we need commitments from the participants because they are free sessions, but a lot has gone into planning the sessions and to arranging for speakers. And so we want commitment from the participants that they're going to come, they're going to participate, and they're going to be active participants so that we're not left with, you know, no shows the day of a session. And then just kind of looking at how do we get this started in your area? I mean, my biggest encouragement is start the conversation. It's really a sharing of resources and expertise. Smaller districts can collaborate with larger districts and learn from one another. If you're already offering a session at your district, why not open it up to others so that everyone can learn and share together resources, and, you know, really they're truly their areas of expertise. It's all to benefit the kids, and why not share those opportunities? I also definitely don't want to end this webinar without giving a special thanks to all our districts who make this happen. So obviously Linda and her team at Northside, Rachel Naylor and her team at Northeast ISD, Roger Rodriguez at San Antonio ISD, Dolly Armstrong at Harlandale, and then our newest addition this year, Pete Silvius with Seguin ISD. So they really have put a lot of effort into this, a lot of time and thought, and done a lot of works with their district, and it's really just turned into a phenomenal collaboration and something that I see continuing in the years to come. So thank you all for participating today. Anita or Michelle, were there any questions?
Anita, are you there? Did we lose you?
Sorry, I'm on mute. Here I am talking to myself. There are some follow-up questions. Primarily, how many participate when you get one together? And I'm sure it probably is based on what sessions are offered. But then also, do the other smaller districts in the region put out sessions for others to participate in?
So I'll take that. Really, it does vary depending on session. Usually the class size we limit to around 40, especially if it's a health education in the classroom. But I would say even our PE classes are generally limited to around 40, and I would say that that's probably a good estimate of the number of attendees that come. So they are very popular sessions. So far, we have not had a smaller district offer a session on their own. However, they definitely attend. Our charter schools attend these summer sessions as well, so it's open to all. Absolutely, we would welcome them to offer that, and that's something I think where we can grow our expertise, maybe even just I don't know. I just think there's a lot of opportunity to continue to grow in that direction. But so far, we haven't had one of our smaller districts offer a session on their own. But like I said, they do participate in terms of attending and sending representatives.
And I'm going to add to that. One of the reasons that it's important that we do this is with the larger school districts. In some ways, taking the lead is because oftentimes there's more resources in those school districts. And like Mandy said, we would absolutely love to have some other presentations, but it's the responsibility of the larger school districts to work within the community, because it's all about the kids in San Antonio and Bexar County.
Thank you for those answers. I guess the next question is how do you keep track of continuing education? So is that something you do, Mandy, at the service center, is making sure that you process all of that so schools are aware of attendance?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Anita. That's a great question, and that's one of the reasons that Region 20 does handle the registration for all of the sessions, because it's going through our online registration system. Once we receive those sign-in sheets back showing that those who registered actually attended, our registration staff enters that into our system, and they can then download and print their continuing education certificate. If there's something specific they need for the school district, they can then share that certificate with the district. And in some cases, the coordinators email me and I will send them a list of attendance as well for the sessions, just so that they can do that in their own internal system as well.
Great. I guess the next question is about obstacles. And, you know, someone considering starting this type of endeavor, I am aware of a couple similar type projects a long time ago in the ESCs. But I guess, you know, now we're in a new age of electronics and the ability to communicate is a lot better. What would you say some of the biggest obstacles are in offering the summer professional development sessions?
I'll go ahead and take that. One of the problems that we have is finding a site. And even though, Northside has over 100 schools, but oftentimes there's a lot of maintenance that's done on schools, or some, heavy cleaning and that kind of thing. So those options need to be really looked at early, and it always works out, but that's always something that we have to work on.
And I'll say another obstacle, I guess, or could also be a lesson learned, is that we set parameters now this year for our PE and health professional development, because what we found in previous years is that some sessions were offered too late in August, and the staff were already back on contract with their district, thus they couldn't attend outside sessions. And so we needed to set parameters that all of our PE and health professional development sessions would end by the second week of August. That way they truly have the opportunity to participate in all the sessions that are offered that they would like to.
And to just add to that, the school districts need to contribute. I mean, it's a shared responsibility that we've taken on, and so if you're in an area, if you're just getting this started, the key players, the staff from these different school districts need to make it a priority to try to put together some programs that would be important for their city.
Right. One more question that has come in. Do you see that this is improving the collaborative spirit amongst personnel within the region, so that they begin to tap into their peers' expertise? Do you see, I know it's just kind of started, this is like, the third year, but have you seen an uptick in the number of smaller district personnel kind of tapping into some of the more experienced staff and kind of getting some follow-up questions answered, or some advice from some of these sessions?
Mandy, do you want to take that one? You may know more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the best examples of the collaborative spirit is that this year, for the first time, we have two districts that are collaborating together to offer a session to make it happen. So, I mean, I think that that's the true, I mean, that really shows the collaboration that's come out of this, but absolutely. And I see that most with our participation from the charter schools. I see that they have really come to rely on this group. They regularly attend our coordinator meetings, and they're trying to get feedback about how to grow their program, and sometimes with limited resources. And so I do see them reaching out to others and asking really great questions, and the sharing of resources and expertise has really been great, and it definitely has continued outside of the summer sessions.
And let me just add one more thing to that. One of the things that I have said for years, and I'm sure many people agree with this, is that school districts in Texas or in a region such as San Antonio, Bexar County, the more that collaboration can occur, the more that Roger Rodriguez picks up the phone and calls me, or I call him, or Rachel Naylor, or Dolly, or any of the other Pete Silvius, and we certainly want to add school districts to that. The more we share and collaborate, the better it is. We are years beyond the thinking that school districts are in competition with each other. And I have said that for years, that the more we can collaborate and not compare to each other, comparisons are fine, but it's not comparison only so that you can improve your program, not so that it can one up one. And I think this is a trend that this program that Mandy at Region 20 and some of the school districts have put together has really helped that spirit in San Antonio, and that is, to me, a major factor in how this works.
That's definitely a benefit. And we have one last question. If some folks can't get to the session, is there a way that those materials or that information is kept electronically for them to tap into later?
So currently, we don't record or videotape any sessions. However, if there are handouts, of course, it depends on the presenter, but as long as the presenter is willing to share, I keep a file of those electronically, and I'm more than happy to send them out. We've even done that post-session. So like for our elementary kids dance session, they had some great handouts with dance routines and whatnot that they shared with me, that then I could share with everyone who participated electronically, and of course would share with anybody who was interested in. Once again, that's the benefit of it being a free session, is that all the materials are there for the benefit of all. And so, but it just really depends on the session. Obviously, a kayaking session would be a session you really need to attend to get the benefit out of, or maybe more the health education related ones, sharing the handouts would be of benefit to those who can't participate.
Mm-hmm.
We had another question come in. How have these programs impacted the students?
Linda, I'll let you take that one since you're more on the district level.
One of the things that we are always interested in is student outcomes, and because that's how students learn and what they learn and if they learn, those are the components. I have to think of programs that we have, such as Snag, which is it's a golf program that we have for elementary kids. What we see by better trained teachers is that it transfers to the students, and they actually learn the skills. Talking about fundamentals of motor development that I'm talking about, we are anticipating that this information is going to help with student outcomes. We don't want teachers teaching requiring kindergarten kids to be able to skip. Because it's not developmentally appropriate for that age. They may start it, but whatever. So all of these should relate to student outcomes, and everything now in education is related to that. It's not what the teacher teaches; it's what the students learn, and that's the part that we believe will impact this.
And I would think with having people going to the sessions where they can get some really good teaching strategies that would make it more effective teaching.
Right.
Would also have
right.
a direct impact on your students as well.
Right. Best practices and that kind of thing.
Right. Now, Linda, just to clarify, we had a question about if you have a community member or some other person come in to do the training, your school district pays the fee for that person
We
to be
pay,
there?
yeah, we pay anything that Northside offers, or whatever school district offers. If there's a fee, the school district pays for it. Now, some, like the one that we're doing on rookie rugby, there's not a fee there. On the motor development, there's a fee. So it's up to the school district leadership to really look at what funding's available, look at what is important for the teachers, and to know how to factor in those resources that you may have available to you.
That's good.
And also, too, if that's a session that your district was already going to offer, as an internal session, even just opening up, like I said earlier, a couple of spots, 10 or 15 slots that outside participants could come in on. But the same thing goes with if there's the fee for the location. The district hosting would handle that fee in order to provide the session.
Thank you for that clarification, because I think it's important for folks to know how this really works, to where when the participant walks in, there's no fee for the participant, and yet those underlying costs are taken care of. So thank you for clarifying that. Michelle, I don't have any more questions from the audience, so I'm going to turn it back over to you, okay?
Thanks, Anita. I did want to mention there was one comment that from one of our advocates in Harris County about how often they hear the smaller districts struggle to bring training in for their smaller numbers, and how this framework could enable districts to share training opportunities in real time. They're very excited, so I'm hoping that Harris County will pick up this model, and some of the districts down there will start sharing this. So that you've already made a difference just while we're on this webinar. This is the final webinar for this school semester. We will be planning over the summer for partnering for school health webinars for next year. We will also be looking at a schedule of webinars for school health advisory councils. So if you have ideas or topics that you feel would be important to cover, just email me at msmith@actionforhealthykids.org, and we will take those under consideration. Or if you have a speaker you think has done a fabulous job on a topic, you can also send that information to me, and we will take that under consideration for next year. We definitely want to continue these series and help support our schools. Also, put a save the date on February 9th. We have just confirmed that we will be doing our annual Action for Healthy Kids Summit, which has been in Austin from the beginning of time. This year we are going to Houston, and we are working with Healthy Living Matters. We are working with Harris County Health and Human Services. We have secured a United Way facility for our meeting, and we're really excited. So I think that'll give us access to some great presenters, and we're working on an agenda, and we should have that out. So if you're not on our regular Action for Healthy Kids mailing list, go and join so you can keep up with what we're going to be doing next year on that. Any other comments or wrap-ups from our speakers? Are y'all good?
I would like to thank Linda and Mandy for sharing this model with our audience. I know both of them have been leaders in the health and physical education field for a long time. And when we heard about this model, we just felt like that others could benefit from the work that they've already started down in San Antonio. So I'd like to give them both a personal thank you for sharing it with us today.
I agree. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Anita and Lori Anderson, for working to put this webinar together. I think it's fabulous. And we'll be sharing the PowerPoint as well as a link to this webinar. So if you have someone at your district you think could benefit from looking at this webinar and might be the very thing that will convince them to try this model, they can view that, or you can share the PowerPoint in person. So thanks for joining us today, and we will look forward to having you join us this fall. Have a wonderful summer. Get lots of exercise, drink lots of water. and enjoy a little bit of time off if you can.